Talking about the movies like Social Network, BlackBerry, in those movies, the top people in Silicon Valley are shown using abusive languages, unethical practices.
In the middle of a hostile takeover!
And as a student, when I look at those movies, I'm like, nahi yaar, yahan pe kaam nahi karna. And where do you think the ethics play a role in terms of a businessman, and where to draw that line?
I mean, that's a good question. See, there are two parts to this question. One, you talked about the curse language, abusive language. I would say that's something to do with culture. And it's not that people don't use abusive language here. I've heard at least. Fortunately, I have not come across such business people in my life because I don't use such language, so they may not be using that in front of me. But I have heard in India people using such curse words in Hindi or in other native language, right? I have seen. Now in America it may be more common and it is shown more openly in movies because it's part of the culture. There, some of the four-letter words, as we'd say, are part of the vocabulary. I mean, in a college, I would tell you, you'd be surprised. In college, I used to use four-letter words in every sentence. You'll be surprised. I mean, I was not unethical. I was not immoral. I didn't do anything wrong, but it was considered as you can say fashion among your peer. I mean, among your peers, you're doing this, and then you get used to it, and then you start doing it. And later on, when I wanted to stop using them, it took an effort for me to really erase those from my vocabulary. So I think language is one part. I don't think just because somebody is using a language like this, he's unethical or immoral. You can reason with them if you don't like using those words, or you don't like to be addressed like that. You can always reason with them, right? Now, when it comes to unethical practices in businesses, like I think Social Network and all that.
What is this? Well, as you know, we had some new investors that have come.
What is this? You issued 24 million new shares of stock.
And all. I think it's quite common many places, though I think among all the business places or among all the countries in the world, and we look at the business practices, I would rate America as still the best. Though what you saw there, I mean, at the pinnacle of success, let's say one guy is removing the other founder. One founder is removing the other founder, right? And the founder got removed, sued him, right? So I think, to me, when you look at this, I mean, and I have done many startups in America, and I've seen some in India. I'll tell you, worse happens in India among the startups. Only thing is, no movie has been made yet.
Can you give an example?
Indian startup examples will not be very handy for me. But I'll just give you an example. I think I saw the other day a TV series here about Kota factory. They were showing, the guy is now not telling his parents something. What I'm saying is that at that level, I wouldn't call that unethical. I would call it immature. I would call it two different perspectives. When a founder A feels he has contributed more to the company than founder B, and obviously founder B doesn't agree, and founder A has upper hand, so he pushes him down or pushes him out. Now, in a moral lens, someone very idealistic, is not right. I don't think so. It means you haven't seen the world, I feel. And I've had this discussion with my son as well. I don't want to start up because these things happen. I don't know. These are things you will face when you're taking a public transportation. You want to sit on a seat, somebody else comes and sits. He thinks it's mine, you think it's yours. Parking lot. It has happened so many times to me. There's one spot empty. I am coming straight like this. Another guy comes and gets in. It's unethical, it's immoral. No, we both have our perspectives. He saw it. Perhaps he saw me too, but he actually ignored it. That's okay. It's not end of life, I think, to me, that's part of growing up process. So I think when you talk about unethical practices, like in BlackBerry, I think they showed that how, I don't think again they were unethical, it's just they were doing what they thought was right to grow their business. At the end of the day, they lost out, right? They lost out because they couldn't keep up with the technology.
You said they were the best engineers in the world. I said they're the best engineers in Canada.
Even though they try to, in a way, manipulate few things here and there, some numbers and all that stuff.